Hey, Fernando, in this fourth passage, we have this writer and social theorist, Charlotte Perkins Gilman, who is a social Darwinist, but there's like two camps of social Darwinists. Some that think that social Darwinism is just the same as evolution, individual biological evolution, and others that think no, social society can evolve, but it evolves through our actions, through a collective agency. And Gilman's in that latter group. Okay, so I just read a passage about how Gilman thinks that social evolution is real and that we can influence it and that we therefore have an obligation to try to influence society for the better. The main point of the passage, everything I just said. Gilman believes that we have an obligation to move society into a beneficial evolutionary path. Or D, Gilman's version of social Darwinism held that people can and should contribute actively to social evolution. 22. Which of the following statements is true? And we know that E is true. Other evolutionary theorists contemporary with or prior to Gilman shared her view. We know the simplest way to prove it is the top of the second paragraph. Gilman identified herself with this latter ideological camp. She can't identify herself with people who don't exist. There must be people in existence who share her views. 23, the organization of the passage. For answer choice A to be right, we'd have to have the passage doing these things. Does the author identify a particular individual? Yeah, Charlotte Perkins Gilman. Is she a proponent of one of two versions of a theory? Yes, she's a proponent of the latter version as I described it, as the passage describes it, the latter version of, and I just mean by latter the second one that she talked about, the author talked about, a version of social Darwinism. This was a proponent of one of two versions of a theory, social Darwinism. Then the passage describes how that individual drew practical implications from the theory. That's that whole second paragraph. And relates some of those implications at the last paragraph. This is, Gilman took these ideas and here's what they are. And you see how every part of answer choice A tracks with something we saw in the passage. That's how we can be confident it's right. For 24, Gilman believes which of the following is a significant factor. Well, it's the work we do, right? That was the main point of the passage, and we could point specifically to the middle of the second paragraph. Gilman argues that since a prime source of social evolution is human work, crafts, trades, arts, sciences, skilled occupations, human work, and specifically in some of the areas that she mentioned, which were all skilled jobs. 25, as opposed to bagging groceries or digging ditches. 25, the passage gives evidence that Gilman valued which of the following is an instrument of social progress in her time. Skilled occupations. And answer choice B gives us an example of a skilled occupation. 26, the passage can most accurately be described as which one of the following. And for B to be correct, we would have to have a passage offering a description of the role played by a particular writer. Did we talk about the role of a particular? Yeah, Gilman. What role does she play? She pushed forward this idea of collective social Darwinism in an intellectual controversy. Is it? Yeah, the question of what brand of evolution applies to social forces is certainly an intellectual controversy over the consequences of a scientific theory. What scientific? Evolutionary biology. So again, as with 23 and probably here most strikingly 23, it tracks with every part of the answer, and that's how we know for sure it's right. Finally, then, question 27, something that is implied by Gilman's views. We talked about this in question 23 also. The implications of Gilman's views, that's the last paragraph. Some social conditions on which social evolution depends at certain times in human history are detrimental to further social evolution. How do we know that's one of the implications of Gilman's? She said it. I could tell you specifically a social condition. The the idea that men are stronger, right? A central goal, I'm in line 46, a central goal of the reorganization would be the abandonment of gender-specific work roles. We want to abandon them. Those are detrimental to further evolution. But did we ever say that those were necessary for past evolution? Yes, we did in the next sentence. Gilman believed that at one time such arrangements had been necessary for evolution. And there's your answer, choice A. You can have forces that are necessary that then become impediments to future progress. And that is this fourth passage, and that is this section. So here's the deal with these free videos. They're intended to serve a very narrow purpose. For those times when you're wondering, why is that the right answer? You can just come here for a complete library and find out why it was the right answer. And I hope that you'll find that it was very instructive. Of course, the other part of the deal is that since LSAC publishes all of their tests along with test keys, that means that there's no barrier to entry for test prep. And you can hear the air quotes, I hope. Anybody can, and lots of people have, set up shop and call themselves test prep companies, and they've got the questions, they've got the answer keys, and they just try to explain to you why the right answer is right. And then they charge you money for it? That is wrong. I want to put a stop to it. I want to sweep the legs right out from under them. It is bad for you. It's bad for me too. So if you want to know what the right answer is and why the right answer is right, I want you to be able to come here and find it out for free without paying anybody for it. That's very different from what I do in the paid course. What I think has value about what I do is that I can tell you ahead of time what every question wants from you, what to expect from the right answer, how to formulate a right answer, and then how you can expect wrong answers to sound, so that you know before you ever open up a test book exactly what to expect. And all the practice videos that are part of the paid course are just me putting that theory into practice. It's just the rubber meeting the road. In other words, I'm going to show you, based on what we've done before, how we're going to react when it comes up next time. And that bit, knowing what to do the next time you see something, that I think is worth paying for. And if you agree, I'd love to have you in the course. And if not, that's fine too. Don't pay anybody to explain why right answers are right. Just watch these for free. Enjoy.